this is oh shit, I didn't like how that started off already. Hey, welcome back for a Trailer Trash Talk Hurricane League Fantasy Talk update. I have Mitchell here with me. How you doing, Mitchell?
Doing pretty well this evening for somebody who's not playing for anything meaningful, I guess.
So, let's get into that real quick. Is that the biggest choke job we have ever seen in our league?
Certainly my biggest choke job of the year.
Well, that wasn't exactly my question. I want to put it in a bigger...
Of the league history, no, it's close. But I'll tell you what is number one. Justin.
Oh!
To go from division leader to shit bowl favorite. Yeah, that I'm up there with him from, my 2-game lead on everybody didn't mean anything. My points lead didn't mean anything when my worst performance of the year is in the first round of the playoffs.
Which I think I said, or you could almost say prophesied at the time. Now, weren't you one of Justin's biggest, proponents leading up to the playoffs?
Yeah, I'm sure my just 5-star analysis gave him a false sense of security. So, my bad. But, yeah, the rest of it you did to yourself, so.
Did you notice he was starting 2 tight ends through most of the playoffs?
You pointed that out just about every week. It's still, yeah. It's almost like he wanted to lose at least the second week of the first round there when he was behind.
You know what's fucking crazy is this past week Hayden Hurst was on his bench. It was one of his higher scoring players on his team. Outscored Tyreek Hill.
Well, who would have saw that? But,
so, while we have you here, what do you think about the controversy surrounding the league right now with Brian making a potentially unethical move, according to Justin? And
well, let me just say, I completely agree that it was unethical. And I know what Brian was doing, as much as he wants to say about the phone in his pocket and drop play. You had nothing to play for, so you dropped. We don't have an undroppable list in this league, so you knew that Blake was top of the waiver wire, even though Blake apparently still doesn't understand how that works. But we'll get back to that. But with that said, I wish I would have thought of it first and done the same thing. And Justin, if it mattered, I would be dropping Mahomes and Kelsey for you this week, but they're resting their starters, so never mind. But yeah, kudos to Blake for actually watching the waiver wire and picking him up. Was it ethical? No, of course not. And did it give an unfair competitive advantage? Well, 6 touchdowns and 60 points. That notwithstanding, yeah. What was it? Two first round.
2
picks?
first rounders versus 0. I will say Justin did the fucking
Justin
0 to himself.
But
he could have and should have, because it's not like there was an injury or anything.
No, he just Justin cut bait real quick there to continue playing his 2 tight ends. But yeah.
So do you think that we should be looking at some type of punitive issue here? What do you think the outcome of this situation should be?
I don't think there's nothing should be done punitively about this. Now I think we should fix the system going forward, and there's 2 ways that you could fix that, Commish.
Well, before we get into any of that seems like a lot of red tape. Who should be punished for this? I mean, because I feel like someone should be punished.
I mean,
maybe not Brian.
We're gonna have some punishments to dole out.
But maybe since Blake picked up and played what should have been an ineligible player, maybe his punishment should be ramped up, or perhaps even changed.
Well, can you change what's never actually been set? We owe him one from last year, and I think it's kind of understood that it was going to be another paintballing.
But did we ever actually...
I fully agree to that? No. We tossed around a lot of ideas. And I think...
do you think, was that his... Because he has already been paintballed once.
Yes, he has been paintballed once already last year.
Did he lose 2 years consecutively?
No, because I caught a paintballing last year at the draft too,
okay.
for being there. Yeah. He was being caught up from the year before.
Okay.
I was
okay.
the 2018 loser. But I also got paintballed in 2013 in a totally different way. But nobody has working paintball guns anymore. But since we don't, and since Blake's already gotten the slingshot, I do think we should change it. And I think pepper spray.
Pepper spray.
Pepper spray. I'll let y'all work out the details, but it'll be something with the face.
Something with the face.
Yeah, I mean, I think you were saying it might be a league vote on this year's punishment. Maybe we could do the same for last year's.
So are you proposing a vote?
I think it's fair. We are a somewhat democracy here.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Monarchical democracy, something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah. So what, are we voting to open a discussion to changing Blake's punishment, or are we taking a vote to? I
Well,
mean,
was
what
it-
exactly? Let's lay out your proposition here.
If we're saying we're changing it, then we're agreeing that we agreed to something. But
I'm hearing out your statement here. I mean, I didn't necessarily
I
agree
think
to.
we vote on what we want Blake's punishment to be, what we think it should be, and my vote's for pepper spray.
What do you think Blake's reaction to this is going to be?
I'm probably similar to what it'd be with the pepper spray. Another paintballing with slingshots with a motorcycle helmet on. I mean, shit. Like I did that last year too. It's,
Yeah.
you know, he didn't lose 2 in a row, but he lost 2 within 3 years, and is playing for the shit bowl again.
You know, that is very fair. Now, what do you think? Should we take out the Camara totals and do Blake what would be possibly a huge favor and just set his optimal lineup and see what the... Because I think if you did it that way, he'd be ahead by 20 or 30 this week from big games from Evans. And
Yeah, he was definitely getting those receiving touchdowns that Tom Brady was. Yeah, I think it's the app. It's not working here. But no, I don't think we should mess with point totals. You're setting a dangerous precedent there. I know you can do it. I've been a commissioner in another league before. I know it's possible. I've exercised that power one time before in another league, and it wasn't popular. You don't want to go there.
to quote the words of one of my favorite Roman emperors, a wise man named Caligula, who cares if they like me, so long as they fear me?
Yeah.
I mean, I think he lived a long and happy life, right?
Nothing went wrong for him.
That's what I thought. And he had wild parties.
Yeah.
I mean,
all the best.
so, I hear what you're saying, and I wasn't necessarily saying change it, but I'm just
I'll be
wondering if
curious
we
to
should compare what the totals would have been and perhaps take some weight into that.
And look, this is the midway point of a 2-week matchup too, where there's according to ESPN, a 21% chance that Justin still wins it and sends Blake to back-to-back shit bowl titles.
How often are those predictions right, do you think?
I think when it's that much there, I mean, when I was projected to lose my matchup with a 20% chance of winning, you see what happened. I mean, you and Dusty are, I think, 58, 42, something like that, which I think is fair for a 9-point lead.
I wish it were more, but yeah.
I'm glad there's something coming down to the wire, because I do think it's a foregone conclusion, but I admire Justin's hope and tenacity. And knowing Blake, it's still very possible that he finds a way to lose this. And that's why, I mean, he got Camara. He paid attention. Look, whatever we say about what Brian did, why Brian did it, dropping him.
Well, he gave a perfectly reasonable explanation.
Well, it completely could have been the phone in the pocket. I get it. But yeah, Blake still picked him up. It's legit. I think it's unethical, but shouldn't be discounted. And that's how you play this game, especially in this league.
So not that we're going to get into actual solutions today, because I want to run this as much like a government as possible. Should we bring the idea of fixing this to committee in the off season?
Yes.
Okay. Done.
Yes.
Done. See, that's fucking progress. That is how shit gets done
Mm-hmm.
later.
You can donate to the senatorial campaign for Both of us. We're in the Georgia runoffs, but nobody knows that.
That's right. That's right. Dark horse.
Dark money.
Dark horse.
This way.
Yes, sir. I will say what I'll believe whatever you want me to. I mean,
Oh yeah, for that kind of pack money. Hell
yes,
yeah.
sir.
Look, before we get too far from this though, I gotta say, y'all with your damn group chat. This was a hot day today. Was it not? In a 30-minute period from 5 o'clock to 5:30, I think I checked my phone and there was 87 messages. And boy, that was just entertaining to read.
They had some funny ones.
What was that? What was the one that topped Cuckboy Tranny Man?
Brian calling Justin a pre-adolescent fuck.
Yes, and then Justin and Brian with the. Neither one of them need to come at the other about who can grow hair, and
Oh. Wow.
they got one the bald head and the bald face. Morals and ethics. Oh, that's you saying there. The phone was in my pocket, and Camara just happened to drop off without me knowing. At least I have the ability to grow facial hair and pubic hair, you pre-adolescent fuck. That's the one.
I literally laughed out loud when I read that. I mean, I read that and laughed.
Just sorry your bloodline's weak. Man, and Brian, I gotta say, man, like, I know how you feel with. It's a good season if I'm not in the shit bowl and you're not in the championship too. I completely get that, but yeah, I feel like I lost after
You did.
winning the regular season, and
Wow.
I mean, look, I've been there before. I know what it's like to win the regular
So
season.
how did you get cheated?
This year? No, just like last year for the Saints. This year I beat myself, man.
Fair.
Gonna pick up a hot running back off the waiver wire right before the game. May as well play him instead of watching him put 38 up on the bench.
Fair. Fuck, I feel like there was something else that we had talked about.
We haven't talked about your matchup at all.
You know, I don't really know what's going on in my matchup. I haven't looked a lot at it. I did look at it earlier when we were sitting on the couch, and I saw Dalvin Cook as a good matchup.
Oh, the app's working again. I was right about the 58-42. It's still showing me this week's scores. Who's Minnesota playing?
I don't know, maybe Detroit.
Yeah, that would be a good matchup. That's divisional, yeah, and that's meaningful for them. No, they've been eliminated now, but they'll still want to beat Detroit. You gonna stick with Jalen Hurts, or are you gonna go back to Herbert?
I haven't decided yet.
I don't know who's playing who. Let's see.
Hurts is playing Washington.
That's right, because that's for the NFL playoffs. That's the big one there. Who's gonna win that division?
I'm not sure with Herbert.
Oh, they're playing Kansas City, but they'll be resting starters, so could be a stat padding kind of game. I mean,
Could be.
it means nothing for KC. What incentive would they have to stop anything?
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
But yeah, the Prophet Moss Hamid. I wonder if we'll see a name change for Dusty's team. We'll see if he's paying attention.
We will see.
What was he referred to before as the Red King?
Well, I
avoid the reign of the Red King.
Yes, I prophesied that I would keep us from the reign of the Red King.
Okay.
Yeah. Just to go ahead and lay down another one. I think this is going to be the beginning of a dynastic run.
Oh, okay.
You know, at least 3. And
3.
potentially 2 in a row, but at least 3 out of 4, you know.
Okay. You heard it here first.
I mean, judging from the way it's been played this year, I don't think it's
I mean, we could. There's a lot of predictions that we could make for next year based on patterns from this year. Like, I would venture a guess that next year's loser bracket is probably going to have 2, if not, at least 2 of the same teams, maybe 3, but at least 2. I think we know who they are, and it's Blake and Justin.
Yeah, they do seem to show up there pretty consistently. It's so fucking shocking that they've both won championships.
Yeah, and that you have it, and I
Have not.
I've come closer though. Tying in a final is coming closer than losing.
See, I would rather lose than tie. That's like,
how does that make sense?
well, because that's like getting so close that you're almost there, but you're just so. And let's think about how you lost as well. You had a big lead. You had a big how you lost. How you lost because you didn't come home with the championship. You had a big lead after week 1 of your matchup. Big lead, right?
Yeah.
All you had to do was maintain some semblance of a lead, and you let Jordan come crashing back.
Yeah.
So.
You know what would be a fun exercise is to see what the decimal scoring would have been in that matchup. I don't know if there's a way to do that.
I mean, if you wanted to get a pen and paper, I'm sure you could.
Excel and
yeah.
Well, I'll get back to you on that. Unless I lost, then I won't.
I mean, really doesn't matter because we didn't have decimal scoring.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, but a little bit. Unless I lost, then it doesn't matter at all. Because that's how it works.
Fair. That is fair as well.
So yeah, pepper spray for Blake and waterboarding for Justin. Waterboarding's my vote.
Waterboarding. You know, I honestly would be happy with either one, but I'm going to go with waterboarding just because I've advocated for it for so long.
Yeah, yeah, it's been like 6 years you've been barking up that tree. We might finally get to do it.
My guess is that Justin's going to become a little bitch boy whenever he's actually faced with the proposition of...
While he's being waterboarded, yeah, probably so. I mean, I don't know that I wouldn't either, but
no,
it's going to be fun to watch.
I think before it gets to that point, he'll be like, well, we agreed to waxing. You know, I think that's what's going to happen.
I don't know. I don't think he'd go back to waxing much. Like, if he does that, it wouldn't be to go to waxing.
This is my other thought. Alright, so we should do like a true bikini wax, like we're imagining Justin would be in a bikini, alright? Because, like, my issue, my fear was that his general lack of facial hair leads me to believe he'll have the same lack of pubic hair, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe we just wax everything from the waist down, though.
Legs too, you saying?
Yes, sir. Like...
I mean, that might... If we did that, it might change my vote.
I really like...
Like I said earlier, I'm envisioning standing over and being waterboarded or standing over and being bikini waxed. Now, I definitely would rather stand over the waterboarding, but watching him get his legs waxed would be pretty funny, too. And then just go in the little room behind the tent for the nethers. I don't think you're going to get him to agree to that, though.
I don't give a shit. I mean...
I tell you what, if Blake finds a way to lose, that's what we do. That'd be for last year and this year.
But see, Blake, I imagine he'd be hairy enough where the bikini wax would serve its purpose. And I also think because of Blake's low T that he
what
won't
all
grow.
is in the bikini wax? Do you get...
That's your pubic area,
like,
your
I don't
gooch,
even know where my... Like, honestly, I don't know where my pubes start and, like, my gut hair begins.
Well,
then there's leg hair that kind of spills over, then there's ball hair. Like, what are we talking about waxing here?
Well, it's definitely going to be your pubic area, the fucking creases right here, the gooch, the ball sack, the ass crack.
Yikes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I feel like Blake probably has a really hairy ass, too, so that's... I mean, I'm all in favor of if, like I said, if Blake ends up finding a way to lose, and we've got the... I've always said, if it's a double, it's definitely a waxing.
Well, you know, that's fair, but I would also like to just suggest that if we do the waxing, I think it should be waist down from Justin, you know, just go ahead and take everything. I don't think he would mind. I mean...
I think we should definitely set that as the precedent if waxing is going to be a punishment going forward. Because I'm still voting for waterboarding Justin, but yeah, I like that idea.
I'm voting for waxing with the thought that it is that style of waxing. If not, then we're going waterboarding and I'm holding that fucking hose, or I'm doing the stomach punching. One or the other.
But the stomach punching was supposed to be a surprise.
I mentioned that on the previous video.
Okay.
So if he watches this shit, then yeah. Hopefully he doesn't.
I think he does eventually.
Maybe.
We'll see.
I guess. Well, look, I mean, judging from the way he's played most of the season, I don't know if he pays attention to fantasy fucking football at all. I mean,
fair point.
It's, you know, as shitty as I've talked about most of this league being, he's really exemplified that. And especially going from first to potentially worst, you know, first in his division to potentially worst in the entire league.
Yeah. It's not looking good.
One of my favorite moments from this season is that cackle he let out on camera because he was division leader.
Oh, remember what we were talking about earlier, where the season started, those little changing points in the season? Week four, right when you first started making the videos, and I was 0-2. I was playing Justin. I tried to outsmart myself by starting Cam Newton over Patrick Mahomes. I should have lost to Justin doing some stupid shit like that. He scored 140 points, high 140s, but I still beat him by like 4 or 5 points. That game, if it had went the other way, Justin would be on the right side of the bracket. I would have still had the same place if I'd had the same outcome in all the other games. I'd still gone in one, probably still fucking blown it in the first round, but it'd have been Justin.
You know what's funny? Because of the way I coasted into the playoffs, he would have potentially knocked me out of the playoffs because I believe I went in as the 4 seed.
No, you were 3, but it's
was I 3?
Yeah. But you and Dustin had the same record.
But I
I
beat him
think.
in points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but you're right. That's still. I think you might be right. Because he'd have taken somebody's spot.
No, it would have been Dusty's.
But he'd have got. Now he would have taken Nick, because Nick won the division, so that would have been Justin there, and then it would have been you, Nick, and Dusty in a 3-way tie.
And I had the points.
You had the
at
points,
least.
and then,
I had the points on both of them. I think. Actually.
Okay, so you'd have still been the 3.
Yeah.
And then I don't know which one of them.
Yeah.
was
So well, if he had the win, he would have been tied with us. Gotcha.
Yeah, those 3 would have been tied in the wild card. So the 2 out of those 3 would have got in.
God, Justin, that is horrible, dude. You know what? After digesting all of that on my halfway alcohol-riddled brain, I don't have as much sympathy for Justin as I did. Because he shouldn't be in the shit bowl. He really shouldn't. He controlled his destiny. He was 1 in his division. I mean...
And... Yeah, all he had to do was win that last week.
Now, I think Blake might have put up like 180 points that last week or something, or 170 points.
Yeah, yeah.
But then
and
Justin had a piss-poor showing versus Brian.
Yeah.
Now, Brian had the second highest 2-week total only to me in week 1, or round 1, so I guess...
It was impressive, but not insurmountable, yeah. But,
I guess that's Justin, you know, sucks for him, too.
It's still, though, like any other one of those close, that one in particular, that one really, yeah, that's the little signs, because a couple weeks ago I was saying that about Jordan, because there was a close win I had over Jordan where we both scored 170, 160 points. I was thinking he was going to go to the shit bowl because of some luck like that, but I was looking in the wrong week. It was Justin's week 4 against me.
No, Jordan finally got a single victory when he needed it.
The one time it mattered.
Congratulations to Jordan.
Look, that's the difference. I lost when it mattered after
you did
winning the regular season.
That is what we consider unclutch, the least clutch thing you could have done.
Yeah.
Went from
0
to 0. Came in at number 1. Limping out at number 4.
Yep. Still on the right side of the bracket, though. It's still a win.
Oh, absolutely. But you were pretty proud about going in at 1.
I was.
You had a lot of big-time predictions.
Yeah, I did.
You're on the show. You can't back out of it. I mean, you've seen. I wouldn't say I'm hard on my guests, but I consider myself a journalist. You know.
Hey.
I like to make sure that we
my analysis was nowhere near for this last couple of weeks. So
You had a good regular season. You did. You came on strong. You peaked, weeks like 9 to 13.
yeah, when I beat you, like early November, that was probably peaking because it was an impressive win too.
And I hopefully, and it looks like potentially, had my slump in the right time as well.
Yeah, it's looking like it for you
towards the end of the
sense.
season.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Dusty's going to give you a game now.
I'm not counting a win yet. Like I said, Dusty has a good team.
You going to put me on the spot to make a prediction because I'll make one for the shit bowl and it's Justin. But
yeah, I mean, I think that even now, Justin's going to lose.
Yeah.
Make your prediction. If we take out the Kamara points, optimize Blake's lineup, who do you think he's ahead by? I think let's say 35, 40 points after match one.
Yeah, see, if we do that, I think that's putting it right in the same place with like you and Dusty. It's because he said he's got like a 70-point lead, doesn't he? It was 190 something to 1.
But then we're going to take out Kamara's 60, and I think his next highest scoring player that we could put in had 16. So you're taking out about 44 points.
Okay,
and he had like a 60-point lead. Oh wait, so he's only up by like.
And if we did that, he'd only be up by
like 15
points. Yeah.
So who do you got in that situation? I actually think I might lean towards Justin. I think he puts up one last, insignificant
It
push.
still comes down to that Brady and then having the receivers. Like, if Brady goes to Scotty Miller and Godwin and all that, but that's not what happened last week when of course, they balled out last week. They had fucking 5 touchdowns.
It's possible Atlanta shuts them down again, or they rely on the run, and Gronk is a blocker, and Evans is not involved.
Like I said, Jones is back.
Maybe back. That's not for sure.
Oh, okay. And then looking at Green Bay's still playing for the number 1 seed, so they're still. Who are they playing? Would be.
Minnesota's playing Detroit.
Right.
Chicago probably.
Another divisional game then, which they should win, but that's still.
It's a tougher matchup.
It's a tougher matchup.
I think particularly for Aaron Jones, and he may not even play. He got injured in this last week.
Which means I'll be throwing more. I'm even doing that. I think I'm giving a very slight edge to Blake, but that's not what's actually happening. So Blake's going to win, but it would be. Yeah, if you want me to predict that when it's all said and done, if we were to do that, yeah, I think Justin would have won.
I'm going to, I'm going to say that if we factor in the points alternatively, I think Justin might actually have a slight edge.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got off.
When this text came on?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, if we factor that in, I think Justin would still lose, but it would be close. And as far as my game, I'm going to win. I mean, what do you want me to say? What do you want my prediction to be?
I know you believe in your team, and you haven't been that wrong this year.
I'm going to have to look at some things because I haven't yet. And, but I think I'll be able to find a route to victory. I'm confident most of my team. Quarterback is a question. Wide receiver 2 is a question. Wide receiver 1 might be a question because Hopkins is questionable and Kyler Murray is, I don't know what his deal is. So, yeah, it might be interesting, but I got Kittle, which, he gave me a solid 14-ish points.
Back from injury?
Yes, sir.
Did not know that.
So he gave me a solid return back, and I'm hoping maybe he helps because he helps counteract the Darren Waller effect is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's been pretty strong this year. That guy's had a hell of a season. Darren Waller has. He was mediocre last week, 16 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick Chubb's been doing well. Thielen, Calvin Ridley.
I mean, I expect Ridley to have a decent game. Thielen is that could go either way.
Deshaun Watson against Tennessee. Well, oh, I hope this is Will Watson. Watson will play in week 17. Okay, damn alliteration. But yeah, I don't know, man. You got the point edge. You got the prediction or projection edge. I think you can win it. I do. I think if I had to put money down, I'd probably put. Yeah, if I had to put money down against the spread, though, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about the spread because I'm not even sure who I'm starting yet. So, no, but like I said, I have faith that I'll pull it out. Like I said, Dusty's a good opponent, though. He's
going to give you a good game. Which is good, because none of these other playoff matchups have been even close. But
yeah,
at least one is, so hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah, hopefully so. Hopefully so.
And then we can get together for those punishments. That'd be
what we
need to do.
Now, depending on what punishment we're doing, we may have to figure out the waxing. I'm confident we can get a waxer. I've actually got one that will do it, but I'm just trying to figure out what the best situation would be because the person I've got is an amateur waxer. So
okay, so we are bringing the candle thing then. Hey, if we're doing the whole waist down, like I said, let's work our way up. I've seen Justin in sandals. He's got like toe hair and shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the toe hair is getting got too. Yeah.
Yeah, let's work our way up till we get to about here. Then we'll put up a privacy tent. Somebody can film. I think you've already volunteered yourself for that.
Oh no, I'm not filming. I'm not filming his little teeny weeny. I'm filming his face as it's happening. Yeah.
Well, then we just put the tent around the side then.
Yeah.
Like he's having a surgery or something.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think it'll be fun. I can't wait to see who it happens to.
You gotta get Justin on here. We've all been talking so much shit.
Justin has had plenty of opportunities to come on here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to him. It's usually, what time do we normally start recording? I mean, it's normally
11 o'clock.
Yeah, 11 or later.
Later, yeah.
But, and he knows that.
Yeah.
He knows that.
Yeah, he's probably still awake right now.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's off in the netherworld in his video games.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
And fair enough. But you're getting your ass waxed, and this is why. Just think about that. I guess you might say, well, that's because of Blake. Blake, I hope you win, even if we factor out Camaro. That's what I hope for. So we can avoid all controversy.
Yeah.
None of it. We get rid of it. That's what I hope for, Blake.
Yeah,
so,
I hope for that too, for the same reason.
play a decent fucking lineup for the first time this season.
Those two, what was it, 92 to 68?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm concerned. My biggest fear is that Blake's going to win by like 3.
3 points or some shit?
Yeah.
Which is entirely possible.
And at that point, I almost think we should count that as a loss for both of them. Punish them both.
I mean, if that's what a tied championship gets.
You know what? I want to go ahead and get that out of the way right now. If by some ungodly chance they tie, they both lose.
God. Yeah,
they both lose.
Yeah, and I think everybody would agree to that. If they,
absolutely,
fucking 2 decimals. If they tie,
they tie, they
wax them both
lose.
from the waist down.
Yes,
God
sir.
damn it, that's
100%. We are not. Yep. 100%.
I agree with you there.
All right. Well, this is 2/3 of the rules committee, so I think we can almost go ahead and just push that through.
It was decided.
All right, no ties in the shit bowl.
Yeah, and if that ever happens, that's the full waxing from the waist down to both of them. And if it happens to me, I'll go to the gallows for that, because Jesus, it's good. Like getting struck by lightning 4 times in the same day. Never get over that goddamn championship tie last year. This is probably a good place to end it, right?
As good as any. Alright, well, hope you all have a shitty weekend.
Yeah.
Suck my dick.
Yeah, go fuck yourselves.
Alright.